Now, but I want to ask you, how do you explain it destroys that? Just because there's no difference between men and women, just because there are 74, 100 genders and we should all go to the same bathrooms, how does that destroy the human quality of us taking care of all generations?
אז זה קצת יותר מורכב. אם כל הניסיון שלנו הוא בעצם, כל התפיסה שלנו היא כוח והיא דיכוי, אז אנחנו רוצים לברוח מהדיכוי. אנחנו לא רוצים שזה ידכא אותי כאישה, אנחנו לא רוצים להקים משפחה כי זה מדכא, אנחנו לא רוצים ליצור חיבור עם גבר, כי הוא יעלים, ואז אנחנו בעצם מפרקים, אנחנו לא רוצים להתחבר ללאום, כי גם לאום זה מדכא, אנחנו לא רוצים מסגרות של שייכות, כי השייכות היא כובלת במקום יופי, אהבה וכו'.
Alright, now went really deep on me, and I'm going to try to do as good job as she did in as short as possible, because basically I was asking, okay, how do you connect the agenda of getting rid of differences to the destruction of the family unit or the intergenerational care aspect of humanity? And what she's saying is very, very interesting and very deep if you think about it. As she brought up earlier, the agenda of this "we are all equal" is based on we are all oppressed, right? Women we're equal as men. We don't want to be oppressed. Women are oppressed in this patriarchal world. Women are oppressed by men who abuse their power and strength. So therefore, and women are oppressed by being in a marriage. Women are oppressed by having to have children or take care of children and be stuck in a family structure. It's all based on this understanding of oppression and trying to get to us up to a better world where women and nobody feels oppressed. But once you go in that direction, then you understand, wait a second, there is no reason to have a relationship. There is no reason to get married. There is no reason to have children and to have a family and to take care of children, because all of that is being oppressed. So that is how she explains why the overall agenda right, thank you for reminding me. And then she goes, because this is all based on the fact, it's all based on the fact that any identity is oppression. Being a woman being a woman different than a man is oppressive. Being a wife, a mother is oppressive. Having to raise a family is oppressive. Being part of your identity is oppressive. You don't want to be part of your national identity. Well, that's oppressive. It's enforcing upon me a certain past and values that I don't want. I want to be like everybody else. I don't want my Jewish past. I don't want my Jewish values. That's oppressive to me.
בגלל זה אתה רואה חיבור פעמים רבות בין פמיניסטיות נניח לערבים מדוכאים. Right.
So now Amaz bringing up the whole case of, in a sense, now Americans will understand this term, intersectionality, where people all of a sudden, feminists, right, who are they're trying to get rid of the patriarchy and stop being oppressed women. We're not different than men. Why they're connected with standing up for Arabs in Israel, not in Israel, in Judea and Samaria and Gaza, because they're under an occupation. There is no connection between the two. They're totally different issues, and they're not being oppressed by us. That's a totally different question, but just connecting the two is only based on this agenda of oppression, that anyone who is being oppressed for whatever reason, they are all partners in making the world a better place, getting rid of oppression, whereas the true agenda of this movement to get rid of differences between men and women is also negates the whole aspect of the Arabs in wanting their own identity or self-determination, because they should have no right to self-determination as a specific identity group if that identity is also about oppression. So there's an inherent in this whole agenda of intersectionality. Ken? Yes, we're now going to summarize.
שבמקום לריב על מי יותר מסכן, מי יותר קורבן ומי יותר מדוכא, נביא גאווה, כבוד, שמחה במה שאנחנו, נתחבר למה שאנחנו, והעולם יהיה מושלם.
Yes, and Naama summarized this beautifully, and also summarized this whole agenda of intersectionality and this leftist agenda of getting rid of the differences of the sexes and the hundreds of genders. We have to stop competing who is more oppressed, because that's what it's all about. And there are actually educational materials out there that and schools teaching, oh, these are the points for how oppressed you are as an identity. That's actually happening in schools in America. I don't know if it's happening yet in Israel. And I'm not saying we have to stop that. Stop being focused on who's the biggest victim. But that's what's happening. You have a victim Olympics going on as part of this agenda. Stop that. We should be focused on positive. We should be focused on making a bigger difference in this world, celebrating our unique attributes. It's not about celebrating who's the bigger victim. It's celebrating how you're maximizing your full potential as an individual, as a man, as a woman, as a Jew, as a Christian, as a Muslim. How are you maximizing your potential and your attributes and your history and your values to make the world a better place? Stop the victim Olympics and instead focus on the positive. And that is a wonderful, wonderful way of summarizing this. So thank you so much, Naama, for this wonderful insight. So, Mamash, thank you.
תודה רבה, תודה רבה. נהניתי מאוד גם.
Okay, מעולה. Naama said she enjoyed. I hope so. Shalom, Naama. I look forward to having you again and speaking about more issues, because this is really, really important for all of us.
תודה רבה. Thanks.
All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this this conversation with Naama Zarbiv. Again, Naama speaking in Hebrew. I'm translating it in English. I hope it was still very valuable to you, because this is really so important. And this is an issue, like we've mentioned, that really affects all of us. We are all in this together, this intersectionality agenda of getting rid of differences in the name of equality actually erases our natural qualities and attributes in order to be able to make the world a better place and live according to our values. So it's all opposite, and it's really doing great damage to our societies. I hope you find this helpful. Please share it with others, so we could wake other people up to, while they think what is being talked about in the name of equality and respect sounds good, it actually is very, very bad. And we have to wake people up to start translating what they're being told is actually good is actually very bad, to then move forward in the right direction. So thank you everyone for watching. Signing off another episode of the Pulse of Israel here in our eternal and ancestral homeland in the land of Israel. This is Avi Abelo. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.